Emily Wrick, and I'm a senior at Pomperaug High School in Southbury, Connecticut. All of my life, I've gone to the same, rather small, school system, surrounded by a class full of white children from some sort of European descent. I too am Italian, German, and Hungarian, but I also have something unique. I am Native American. Whenever I tell people, their heads turn in astonishment, never before meeting someone of such special heritage. The questions fly in as everyone ponders about my tribe, my land, my experiences, and truthfully, why I don't live on the reservation wearing headdresses and skins. Although such questions can be overwhelming, over the years I've learned how to answer them all properly. I am a Native American of the Osage tribe. My tribe's land is in Oklahoma, where in fact my father and my grandfather alike grew up. I have visited the land, and to the surprise of many, it is just like any other large Midwest town. The only difference is that in between the buffalo and the oil rigs is a lot of history about my people. Have you ever heard of the book Killers of the Flower Moon by David Gran? Or perhaps the ballerina Maria Tallchief? Well, they are both part of my tribe's vast ancestry. Maria Tallchief has always been my inspiration. She was considered the first American prima ballerina and the first Native American to hold the prestigious title. Maria is best known for her performance in the ballet The Firebird. She is honestly the reason I have been a dancer since the age of 2. Over the years, due to conflicts or other sports, I have questioned quitting dance. However, I looked up to Maria and wanted to carry on her efforts as an Osage dancer. So I tied up my point shoes and carried on. It was the best decision I've ever made. Between competitive dancing, volunteering a stage crew, and being a student teacher, I've truly evolved into a leader at my studio. Every time I step foot into my student teaching class, I glance over all of the little girls looking up to me, asking for hair to be tied up, shoes to be put on, or to be taken to the bathroom. One of my best memories was one day when one of my little girls from the class, who after watching me perform my solo, exclaimed, "Wow, Miss Emily, you can really dance. I want to be just like you when I grow up." Not only have I carried on Maria's passion for dance, but now I've inspired the younger generation to continue as well. In addition, I want to continue my love for dance by performing in college, whether it be at the SRU Dance Club at Salve or in the Newport community. My passion and love for dance is really thanks to my muse, Maria. I would be lost without dance and can therefore not be more blessed than having the opportunity to perform a Firebird variation at my senior recital this May. In addition to my heritage in dancing, I also have a part-time job at a small restaurant in my hometown, as well as am a part of National Honor Society, Science National Honor Society, and Spanish Honor Society. Plus, I have maintained academic high honors throughout all of high school. Most importantly though, I started my own club at the end of sophomore year. After being rejected from Link Crew, which is a club to help ease the transition of middle schoolers into high school, I wanted to create a service-based club that nobody would be turned away from. So I did just that. I created Pomp Helping Hands. My club, which includes approximately 90 members, performs service as well as aims to better the communities around us. Some of our volunteering has included helping at our local food bank, convalescent home, and nature center. It wasn't easy contacting all of the organizations and holding people responsible for volunteering, but I have managed to create an amazing, prospering club in which I will pass on to be continued for many years to come. After this experience in high school, I would love to continue my service efforts at Salve by joining clubs such as Love Your Melon or Salvathon, and perhaps starting a Salve Helping Hands. As an Ames leader, I would encourage everyone, despite their heritage or upbringing, to participate in service and give back to their communities, just as I have done at Pomperaug High School. Other portions of my involvement in my school and community include the clubs Interact, Habitat for Humanity, Community Theater at Woodbury, Rhythm and Roots Music Festival, and Link Crew, which I got accepted into the next year of applications. Furthermore, I also participated as a speaker and coordinator in a program entitled NAMES during my junior year of high school. As a NAMES leader, it was my duty to teach a group of my classmates about anti-bullying and an effort to ensure every student feels safe at school. Even so, throughout all of this service and opportunity, two of my favorite organizations I participated in were Homefront and Ed Advance's medical shadowing program. To this day, one of my most touching experiences was helping rebuild a home in my community with Homefront. In the beginning of the day, I felt a tug at the bottom of my raincoat. I looked down and found a smiling little face. I remembered this girl. She was the quiet one, always standing in the corner, not quite on the beat that everyone else danced to. Every Friday of freshman year, I constantly put her hair in ponytails, taught her the dance, and tried to make the others include her more. Here I stood that day, looking down at her, ready to attempt to save her once again. The only difference was that I was completely out of my element. I was rebuilding her house for Homefront, an organization that helps reconstruct homes in disrepair. I began my day by scraping paint off of a wall. It had bubbled after a car caught on fire in their garage. This tedious task took hours, but I wouldn't trade those white specks in my hair for anything. After this, I helped repaint the exterior wall and even got up on a very intimidating ladder. Following the completion of the wall, I was put on leave duty. Despite wanting to stop because of hours of continuous raking, back pain, and pouring rain, I just thought of that little smile that looked up at me that morning, and I knew I had to keep raking millions of leaves because she didn't have a mother or a father to do so. In addition, I helped plant flowers and throw away garbage. The home truly blossomed. At the end of the day, the girl found me again and excitedly told me that she would get to take a bath for the first time because they just had installed a new bathroom. I hugged her and explained my excitement for her. She thanked me for always helping her with tap and then assisting with her home that day. Instantly, she ran off towards her new bath with a giant smile that I had rarely ever seen in the shy girl. I held back tears as I waved goodbye to her and glanced at her grandmother crying with joy. I had never been so tired and dirty in my life, but I had also never felt so fulfilled. I would love to continue this fulfillment by helping repair many more houses and urging others to help as well. Likewise, during my junior year, I had the opportunity to intern at an urgent care and shadow nurses, medical assistants, physician's assistants, and nurse practitioners. My internship took place in an underprivileged community, which made me realize how much I would love to give back when I'm a medical professional. One day during my internship, an old couple stumbled into the waiting room. The little old woman could barely breathe, and her husband explained that they didn't have insurance. After being unable to find a heartbeat, my favorite nurse ensured them that would be an obstacle to tackle later. After an EKG test, it was revealed that the woman's heart was barely beating. Per protocol, an ambulance was called, but surprisingly, the patient refused to go for lack of means to pay the hospital bill. The husband squeezed his wife's hand. He stared at his wife and then at us with the saddest eyes I've ever seen, burning an image into my brain. Finally, breaking the silence, he reluctantly asked, holding back tears, "What are our options?" I also struggled to hold back the pools of water forming in my eyes. Kimberly slowly opened a drawer and pulled out a piece of paper, quietly stating, "Well, you can sign this release form and go home against our wishes, but ma'am, you won't survive past the night." Looking directly at the man, she continued, more confidently now, "If it was my spouse, I wouldn't go home. I'd fight to keep him alive." These motivational words drove our patient to the hospital to embark upon the next phase of their journey. As we guided our patient through the rain, to the blinking red lights and ear-wrenching sirens, I thought of the heartwarming influence Kimberly had had on this kind couple. "What do I owe you?" the old man asked before stepping onto the ambulance. "Nothing, this is free of charge," answered Kimberly. Although unspoken, the tears in his eyes and his grip on our hands portrayed the biggest thank you I've ever received. Although I may never know what happened to my little old lady, she sealed my fate, something of which I am incapable of ever repaying. I will be a nurse to help save the lives of those less fortunate, like Kimberly did that very night. This event helped me grasp onto the fact that being in the medical community is not just about being the smartest and memorizing each term verbatim. Being a medical professional is about humanity, integrity, kindness, and compassion. I plan to use this knowledge from my experience as I progress through school. In conclusion, I would love to be considered for the AIMS Scholarship, as I strongly desire to apply my scholarship, service, character, and leadership skills to both the minority and the majority of the Salve Regina community to encourage all students to thrive. My devotion to diversity will enable prosperity for all at Salve. Thank you. I hope you consider me, Emily Wyrick, to be your next AIMS leader.